Hey guys, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and we are going to be talking about leads. Now, a lot of people call these hooks, but because Miss Barr works in journalism, she calls them leads. I'm literally going to show you just a wee bit about how we get people to read news articles, which is going to get people to read your new essay with a new eye. Now, there are different types of leads. A lot of things that you've been taught are not what are going to be appropriate at this age. You guys were taught, oh, ask a question. That's a fifth grade, finger paint kind of way of doing reading. You guys are big 10th graders now. We got to move into professionals. So here we go. The first is the anecdotal lead. That anecdotal lead will give a small, short synopsis, a little story to get the human interest piqued. We saw this with Eli Wiesel. Elie Wiesel. Elie tells us about being a child in a concentration camp. So this is where we just put a little bit of humanity in it by giving a small snippet of a story. When the water rose around his family's hog farm, 15-year-old Logan Lands tried to get their 800 piglets out of harm's way. Instead, he found himself wading through floodwater choked with animals' bodies. We give them, boom, an image to grab their attention and keep them going. The thing about anecdotal leads, it's a good way to illustrate an impact. This is the one that I would like you guys to utilize for your essay. You are going to show a quick snippet of what happens when someone is indifferent. You are going to make up a little story. The story can be no more than 3 sentences. It needs to be short, to the point. It's a really good way to get the audience emotionally invested in your work. Disadvantages to an anecdotal lead. It is difficult to write. It is going to take you a second to do this. You cannot all have the same one, so sharing with your friends is not going to work this time. I need you to give me a short little snippet about what happens when people are indifferent. Are we going to talk about the homeless situation? Are we going to talk about, God help us, abuse, neglect? What happens when people turn their faces away from others and are only going to be interested in themselves? So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to write a hook lead today. You're going to give me a little background on the speech that we're going to be writing about, that it was given to Congress, on what date, by who, why is it important, and then you're going to go grab your beautiful, wonderful thesis statement and pop that puppy in the thesis statement. Now, in your classroom, there is, oops, sorry, there is going to be just a wee bit of work to do. Now, if we go take a look at you guys, your English 4 classwork. Sorry, guys, it takes a second. You do have your journal for today. Where would you go if you travel anywhere? Explain 35 words or more. Ethos, pathos, logos, introduction. You're going to open this puppy up. You're going to write for me that hook. You're going to write for me that lead. You're going to give me a short, little, tiny story about what happens when we do not face the challenges because they do not pertain to us. You can utilize any or all of those that are ignored by humanity. For instance, for me, if I was going to be writing about child working conditions, I would literally start off with Jenny is trick-or-treating, and as she receives her Reese's peanut butter cups, she is elated to have the good chocolate. Little does she know that 2 children have died in the plant that she is got this chocolate from due to neglect and poor conditions. Or I would sit there and say, Madison spends night after night speaking to her boyfriend online. Little does she know that she is just a string of victims that he is grooming for evil purposes. I mean, you just need to give me a hook. You need to be like, this is what happens when we turn our face away. This is what happens when we don't help. Background, again, is just going to be a little bit about that beautiful, wonderful, fabulous speech. You guys have the speech. You guys have the conditions under which the speech was given. You know what happened. You just got to give me one sentence of what it was, and then go grab your thesis statement. No, you may not have your body paragraphs back. You should know your thesis statement. Now, just a reminder, All of this, of course, is still sitting right here in the Ethos Pathos Logos notes. It's still sitting here in the Perils of Indifference. All of that information is still there. I expect this to be done and turned in before I get back at lunch. I will be grading these, and they go in the writing grade. This goes in the writing grade. One more time for the people in the back. This goes in the writing grade. Do not forget to do this. Okay, guys, you know I love you. I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.